Hello, welcome to our first video class in biology. So, what is biology? Well, biology is the study of life. For you to be an awesome biologist, you will need to differentiate living organisms from non-living organisms. There are 7 characteristics that all living organisms have, which non-living organisms don't. And this will help us to differentiate living organisms from non-living organisms. The first characteristic is movement. So what is movement? Well, movement is when a whole organism or part of it moves from one place to another. A non-living thing like a stone cannot move on its own, but a living thing like an animal can move on its own. Even a plant has parts which move by growing in certain directions. The second characteristic of living organisms is reproduction. What is reproduction? Well, reproduction is the process by which living organisms produce their offspring. Non-living organisms cannot produce their young ones. The third characteristic of living organisms is sensitivity or irritability. What is sensitivity? Well, sensitivity is defined as the ability of an organism to detect and respond to a stimulus. The fourth characteristic of living organisms is growth. So what's growth? Well, growth is the permanent and irreversible increase in size and dry mass of an organism. The fifth characteristic of living organisms is respiration. So what's respiration? Well, respiration is the breaking down of food substances in cells of an organism to produce energy. The sixth characteristic of living organisms is excretion. So what's excretion? Excretion is the removal of metabolic waste from living cells of organisms. And lastly, the seventh characteristic is nutrition or feeding. Nutrition is the process by which an organism gets its food. To remember these 7 processes that all living organisms carry out, the mnemonic Mrs. Grain can help you to remember. Each letter of this mnemonic represents a process that only living organisms carry out. In the next class, we shall discuss about cells, which are the basic units that can carry out each of these 7 processes of life that we have discussed.